The Cybertruck is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Ever see a garbage truck try and go up a little hill? The Cybertruck is a total fail.
Can't even tow a trailer for a nice weekend vacation. The
All the reasons why Elon Musk's Cybertruck won't be
Elon
coming to
Musk's
Europe
Tesla
anytime
Cybertrucks
soon.
have a really
Watch a
big
Tesla
problem.
Cybertruck fail an off-road obstacle that was aced by
This thing gets uglier every time I see it.
James, you can kick the doors.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the new Cybertruck. Oh. This is the new Cybertruck.
And over the next few days, we're going to take it on a not-so-mini Throttle House adventure.
Because we need time to investigate. As many of you know, the Cybertruck overpromised and underdelivered. Elon said it was going to be cheaper than it is. He said it was going to tow more than it does. He said it was going to have more range than it actually does. So we want to find out what the Cybertruck is truly made of.
It's stainless steel, isn't it?
No, I know.
Yes, you can slap the car, you can kick it, shoot it, or perhaps a more real-world application, have peace of mind in grocery store parking lots.
Feel the rhythm! Feel the rhyme! Get on up! It's bobsled time!
Ow!
Not a dent was made that day. Seriously. And eventually, you will be able to have your shopping cart-proof stainless steel science experiment a few different ways. A rear-wheel drive one for 60 grand, an all-wheel drive one for 80, or for 100,000 smackaroos, you can upgrade to this, the 845 horsepower tri-motor Cyber Beast. Well, this is actually a Foundation series, so it's 120,000, but either way, that horsepower number makes this the second most powerful truck on sale from a major manufacturer, slotting in below the Hummer EV, but this is significantly lighter. The same way a house is lighter than a motel, but still. It is, for reasons both wrong and right, the most anticipated vehicle this year.
So we didn't want to limit ourselves to a mere quick test drive. We needed time and distance. The beginning of our journey had us heading south from our Airbnb in Fremont, California. This meant scraping the very edge of Silicon Valley, just bypassing the danger that is the tech bros, the Googles, the Facebooks, and the Pied Pipers towards the safety net that is Fresno. There, we planned to stop for some measured testing before heading north into the mountains to experience the majesty that is Yosemite National Park. Let the adventure begin.
Oh, that's amazing. That's going on the fridge.
All right, we got a little bit of time before we get to our first stop. So let's talk about the ridiculousness that is the Cybertruck design.
I actually think it's quite reserved.
Subtle, calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
As you've already pointed out, it's something you could just find in a car park or in your home under the sink.
Yes, exactly. Okay, right off the bat, I actually don't hate the way that it looks. Because I don't think it actually is as simple as pretty and ugly when it comes to cars.
Okay.
There's something in the middle, and that's weird, cool, unique, interesting. That's what this is.
I agree, and I think the Model Y, when it came along, sort of added another amorphous blob to the crossover world. So anything that makes it interesting.
This is very interesting and very different. But the issue is, in the issue I think that I have overall with the Cybertruck is that I don't like this narrative that what they've done is create the perfect pickup truck. What they've done is they've made Elon's weird fever dream thing a reality.
And then try to make it a perfect truck from there?
From there.
Right.
Within the constraints of what Elon wanted, which is, you know, the thing that his kid drew, whatever the story is, and the fact that it had to be bulletproof. The poor engineers basically had to go, okay, how do we make this look like that?
I've seen them in an interview. They've got pain behind their eyes.
They're very tired.
And then he asked for this, and then he said we could have 180 days, and then he said 90.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. And there's parts about it that I absolutely love, and there's parts about it that I think could obviously be better if the engineers were allowed from the ground up to make a pickup truck.
Right.
As opposed to the Cybertruck.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I see.
Okay.
Before we knew it, it was time to top up the Cybertruck's 123 kilowatt-hour battery, because for our next bit of testing, we wanted to make sure it had as full a charge as possible. And somehow, this was our first ever experience with the US Tesla supercharger network. So, we were excited.
Oh my God.
That's quite a few charges.
Why are there so many of them?
That's slightly different to our normal experience.
Yeah, that's which one?
You got your pick of the litter.
I want that one.
Okay.
9C. I'm feeling good about 9C.
But 9C let us down. So did 7B. And then 6D. And then 2D. Yeah, it turns out the station we picked was being serviced, but it didn't tell us that, or which ones were working and which ones weren't. But then finally, through trial and error, one of them started working. And despite the very conservative time to charge estimate, it charged a lot quicker than that. In fact, in the time it took for us to order and inhale some McNuggets, we were already over 90% state of charge and on our way to the next stop. And after filming a few little extra videos of the Cybertruck that will appear on this channel a bit later, it was time to see what the Cyber Beast was truly capable of.
Oh look, a drag strip.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from?
We make effort here at Throttle House.
Cheetah mode?
It's called beast mode, actually.
Oh, really?
And then it goes into cheetah position.
Oh, I see. Oh, I hear air suspension doing things. All right, what can I expect here?
Speed.
All right, let's see what happens.
Here we go.
Okay. Oh, hey, that's neat.
Takes a second.
Oh, suspension ready to launch. Okay. Whoa.
Speed, 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 speed.
Oh,
that braking zone doesn't feel that big.
Whoa,
today.
hey, whoa. Yeah, you should slow right on down now. Thank you. Jeez.
Fastest I've ever been in a truck.
That was pretty silly. You know what it reminded me of?
What?
The way that it was buffeting and some of the rattles and stuff. It reminded me of coming in for a landing in a like a Airbus A3, like a 787,
Including
like,
the ringing sound.
Yeah, like one of the big jumbo jets. That was the vibe. Just buffeting, turbulence.
Okay, so let's see what
do?
we did. 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
2.87 seconds.
And Tesla claimed 2.6 seconds, but they're excluding a 1 foot rollout in their number. So if we do that, we hit 2.68. So pretty much on the money.
Whoa.
At 77% state of charge, we lost 2% doing that.
Okay.
And in the quarter mile, we did 11.15 at 113 miles an hour.
That is, yeah.
Slightly off the top numbers, but
Yeah.
we're 25% down.
For like a really large kitchen appliance, that's quite impressive.
It's madness. It's still...
Oh, camera! Oh my God. What is that ringing noise, by the way?
I don't know.
As you get right to the top speed there, it starts to like...
It feels like when in Call of Duty, when you die and from an explosion, it just plays that sound.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like,
like you've gone deaf.
Yeah, like
sound?
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the beaches, yeah.
Oh, warn me.
There's the ringing.
Oh, was the buffeting.
After James had his fill of trying to make me sick, we pulled over to stand back and remind ourselves exactly what propelled us through a quarter mile in the same time as a Huracan Evo.
Okay.
So it's as dramatic as it looks.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. That doesn't line up too well there, does it? To be fair, I have been kicking this all day for fun. If you like close one eye and look up that line in the back over here, it almost looks like a joke, the way that the panels are made. Here, but like.
And the fingerprints.
And the fingerprints. And the issue is that this particular steel that they've made for this is so difficult to bend, they had to invent a way to bend it. And they barely were even able to do it. This front panel right here, it's welded on with the bend.
And this is the only bent panel.
This is the only actual bent panel. If those welds were to pop, this would go. It's literally under tension right now.
You know what though? I think it just looks so much like it's from the original Tomb Raider video game. It's missing some pixels.
This is like PS1.
But the Rivian sort of prepared us for these sort of strange lights, different look things.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've already been, like I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready
Your
for something.
Your body is ready for the
Was I
Cybertruck.
ready to be pegged? And that's the wrong word.
That's the wrong word.
Was I ready for a 4-foot windscreen wiper? That looks familiar, actually. I don't know, but you got this giant piece of glass, which is the biggest piece of glass in all automotive world or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
You got to do it,
No, listen, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's incredibly strong. You can kick it as much as you want.
That just feels weird to me.
It feels wrong, but you can just... And that's okay.
Is it okay?
Apparently, it's okay. They told us.
If you had just spent 100 grand on this and I was like, nice Cybertruck, Thomas, you'd be like...
yeah, I guess. You'd be like, don't kick my Cybertruck.
Yeah.
These tires are crazy, right? They're Goodyear tires made in conjunction with Tesla for the Cybertruck, and they've got this pattern on them, so it looks like it's all one piece, but it's not. It's just a rubber cap on the rim. So it is just a normal tire underneath.
No, I got black on my finger.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that's brake dust.
You sandbagged me there.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. So
I don't know.
We've already had a bit of a game of range with this. We haven't. There's no conclusions yet.
It's so boring.
And with the tonneau cover,
yeah,
that you can jump on, as I showed earlier. With this is open, it's 10% worse range. So we need to keep it closed for the rest of the way to Yosemite.
What if we want to put stuff in it?
No stuff.
No stuff.
No stuff.
Okay.
Well, you could put stuff and then close it.
All right.
This is glass here.
Apparently you can stand on it, and it feels so wrong. Oh, I can see it flexing.
Don't say that.
I can see it flexing from here. Dude.
This feels strange.
That feels really wrong. Okay.
Also, it's just a perfect reflection of myself in here.
Yeah, that's what glass does.
But it's like so crystal clear.
Anyway, let's get going because we have an Airbnb tonight.
It's quite far away.
Yeah, it is quite far away. The sun is already going down. I have no conclusions about this car yet, none whatsoever.
This is taking a minute.
I don't know where I stand on it because it's so different to anything else I've ever driven or reviewed.
The charging was so quick and easy, minus the stations. When we found the right station.
Yeah.
It's so fast.
Yeah. You're creeping me out. Can you come down?
Yeah. You know what it does have though?
What?
Up there with the BMW iX, the best sound system of any vehicle I've experienced.
It might just be the best.
Yeah.
All right, so we both had some time driving this now.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
It is a bit weird.
Yeah, there's stuff that you have to get used to. That said, once you get used to it, it's been fine so far.
In some ways you get in and it's just big Tesla. It's like a Model X that just sort of hagrided. Is that a word?
Nope, it is now though.
But there's some things that are very different. So that steering wheel,
yes,
which is a yoke plus.
Yoke plus.
It's a yoke circle. is not connected to the wheels mechanically.
No, this is a completely steer-by-wire.
And they've played with that. They've done a dynamic steering ratio. We've had dynamic steering ratios before. Even the Audi R8 gets a dynamic steering ratio.
Not like this one.
This is the most aggressive we've ever experienced.
Yes.
It has four-wheel steer. In car parks, parking lots, all you have to do is turn it a smidge, and the car turns way more than you're used to.
But when you're at highway speeds like this, the ratio slows down, so it's not so sharp. But the thing is I never really know how much the ratio is changed or when. It would be weird, but it isn't. Somehow it works.
It does work. You get used to it.
But my biggest issue is just the fact there's no physical connection. At first I was like, that seems ridiculous. And I asked Tesla, and I said, like, how is that safe? Well, there's double and triple redundancies in place. So you'll always, even if you go to zero battery, you'll still have power assistance in the steering. And I was still skeptical. I was like, what if the whole thing shuts down? But then I realized that I took a plane here from a place where I took a plane to, and those are all fly-by-wire, and I wasn't even in control.
No.
And I trust that.
And you're just in a tin can in the sky.
So there you go. I guess that is what it is.
Now we're in a steel can on the ground.
Other than that, there's a little bit of weirdness in other places too. The visibility is not ideal. I can't see anything over there, really.
Yeah, A-pillars are massive.
I can't see anything over there, and I got a blind spot.
And you haven't got a rear view mirror.
I haven't got a rear mirror.
Even if you did, which you could get, the tonneau cover is closed.
Tunnel clever?
The Donald Glover is closed today. He will be back on stage tomorrow.
It's been a long day.
The tonneau cover. There is this contraption back there that covers the bed, and when that's closed, you get better range. So even if we open that, you'd lose range, and so therefore this
is my mirror.
That's your mirror.
Yeah.
And if you indicate, bye-bye mirror.
Can't see the mirror.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way to configure it so I can see both, but I don't know. The point is that this takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
And I'm not used to it yet.
Yes, and it's also, in some ways, it's not, it doesn't claim to be a luxury car, but it's quite loud on the highway.
Yes.
There's tyre noise, there's wind noise, there's motor noise, which is actually weirdly significant in this.
Yeah, as soon as you slow down, it reminds me of being on a subway in London.
Yeah, it's the London Underground.
Yeah.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Next stop, Piccadilly.
This train terminates at Stratford. But yeah, but obviously we've learned that the sound system is so good, you just should blast music the whole time.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that?
And then go to the Airbnb?
Go to the Airbnb.
A little bit of R&R?
A little bit of R&R.
Got a big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skimming the top of Fresno, we drove into the night and up into the mountains towards our lodgings. As night fell, the efficacy of our rearview camera started to suffer, and our headlights, which for some reason were pointing up, weren't making it easy to see what was actually in front of us on the road. Otherwise, though, the Cybertruck ate up the miles with ease and transported us comfortably all the way to a charging station in the mountains where we could grab some dinner. But after we ate, a sober but travel-weary James attempted to back us out of a rather tight supercharging station. And even though we said you could get used to it, the combination of four-wheel steer and an extremely tight turning radius created a crab-like movement that all became a bit too much for him to comprehend. This was, incidentally, the hardest I think I've ever laughed in my life, but I still managed to get my phone out for his third attempt.
James can't figure out how to get out of the parking spot.
I don't know how you got in this.
He's almost hitting the supercharger.
What is going on? I'm closer than I've ever been. It doesn't make any sense. I moved further away.
I can't breathe. I'm crying so hard right now. There you go.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
I went further away.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, we did it. We backed out of a parking space.
It's very difficult.
The next morning, the sun rose, briefly, and after an excellent rest, we returned to a rain droplet-covered Cybertruck.
There it is.
Oh,
It's
no.
the same as yesterday. What?
We've left a bunch of dead flies on it overnight.
So?
Don't you remember the article?
Oh,
The
yeah.
manual says you can't leave bird droppings, dead insects, tree resin.
I read that, but that's the same as
corrodes.
that's the same as all paint.
Yeah, but this doesn't have a clear coat.
Yeah.
And it says it's built for any planet.
Well, what doesn't make any sense? Those things aren't on any planet. If they were, then there'd be extraterrestrial life that we'd know about. There's no bugs, so it's built for every other planet. But this one, based on that logic.
So we clean it now?
Yeah, with like a Scotch-Brite pad.
And Windex apparently is quite good.
Okay.
Yeah, just glass cleaner.
To Yosemite.
After stowing our gear in the frunk, we set off into the mountains towards Yosemite National Park, one of the most astounding places on Earth. But before we could get there, we had to, well, get there.
All right, mountain roads,
Yes.
slippery, icy, snowy roads,
Yeah.
and a 7,000-pound truck
Yeah, okay, so
with no snow tires.
with no snow tires. It does handle very, very well, though.
The back and forth, the left and right directional changes, absolutely there.
Significantly better
Yeah.
than a normal pickup truck.
Yeah, same. We had the same thing with the Rivian R1T.
Yes.
It was just like, how's it doing this?
Yeah, yeah.
But some of these,
Inertia exists.
yeah, and there's
Yeah.
no guardrails.
There's no guardrails in some of these corners.
That's quite scary.
It's a little bit
scary.
scary because I don't know where the limits are, and the problem with a vehicle that weighs this much is that if you lock up the tires, even with ABS, and you get into an emergency braking situation, you're just gonna travel further.
Yes.
Than a lighter.
And there's a false sense of confidence because I can accelerate as much whenever I want. I can
Yeah.
brake very well.
But
I
then
can-
when it goes wrong, it really
Yeah, I've
goes
got a
wrong.
tight steering ratio. All the
Yeah.
things that tell my brain you're driving a lightweight, nimble sports car.
Because they did make it feel like that.
Yeah.
No question. I just wouldn't mind some guardrails, you know? That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is, if you get in danger from like wildlife, you can just grab that windscreen wiper and fend them off like it's a samurai sword.
That's actually not even like a katana. That's an O-katana. That's the big one. It's extremely...
Is that like Uruk-hai to orcs?
Exactly.
After miles and miles of slick canyon roads later, we found ourselves in the famous tunnel that leads to one of the most iconic vistas on the planet. So awe-inspiring that the first people to name it had room only in their brain to call it Tunnel View.
Soon enough, we burst forth into the light.
Oh! Yes. Oh, that is just so nuts. You see the falls? Oh my god.
James wisely put the Cybertruck in off-road mode, which raises the air suspension, and even though Tesla hasn't released the software to make the front-locking differential work yet, which isn't a sentence I thought I'd ever have to say, we still managed to park in the treacherous parking lot overlooking Yosemite Valley.
You did it.
That's not going anywhere.
That's not going anywhere. Oh my god. It's just...
Natural beauty,
You've seen it now.
Elon's wet dream.
Last time that he was here, it was rainy and foggy.
Yeah, I've been to Yosemite twice, and I've only been once. This is the first time.
This is the first time you've been to Yosemite. Wow. Yeah, that'll do.
Our arrival in the Cybertruck, however, meant that we were the only ones who still had the eyes for Mother Nature. El Capitan be damned, everyone else there was glued to the Cybertruck.
Even the Ravens, who must have thought it was the biggest, shiniest piece of jewelry they'd ever seen. And that didn't end. As we descended into the valley and stopped for a quick sandwich, the attention continued. And continued.
Cool, man.
And continued. Everyone loved it. Eventually, though, we decided to find a quick spot among the huge walls of rock, so we could test just how much danger we were actually in.
Welcome to Yosemite, the land of danger. Rock climbing, free soloing, base
Yeah, but
jumping.
we chaptered this danger because of the Cybertruck.
Yes, not this place.
So it's time to raise the sticks.
Just a good location. Wait, oh, okay. What? Yep.
That's as hairy as I remember. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you gonna do the carrot test?
Perfectly normal carrot, all right?
That was an early prototype video. I don't think this one's gonna do that, right?
Well, first I'm going to show you something else.
You do the carrot test over here.
Stainless steel edging.
Yeah. What are you doing? Oh my God.
That's just the edge of the door.
Yeah. Cybertruck. Not just for getting you into Yosemite, also for vegetable prep.
If it was a fake carrot, would I eat it? I didn't peel the top part. All right.
All right. Frank.
So, your kids are in danger on the door.
This is a spot that a hand would go.
Yeah, don't leave it there though.
Don't leave it there. Do the fat part of the carrot. Turn it around. There you go.
Fat part of the
yeah.
carrot.
All right, you ready?
know if you
No,
can
look, they're right there. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you're allowed to fat shame a carrot.
Okay, you ready?
Do it. What if I
Surely-
just do my finger as well?
Surely this
No.
will stop. Oh. Okay.
Let's up the ante.
Oh.
Let's
all
up
right.
the ante. What
That's
we
not
got?
littering. It's for the bears.
I'll eat it after.
Okay.
All right, what do we have in here? Sweets, no. That's
No,
not
that's not good enough.
Ooh.
What do you got? That's like an aluminum bottle of water. It's not gonna. Okay.
All right, we'll do it.
Ready? Oh! Oh my God!
Yeah. Oh. If this was built in France, it would be the Cybertruck guillotine.
France is ready for another revolution. This could be the truck for them.
You pretend you didn't just waste a Murderer!
Shall we go?
Yeah.
All of our digits intact and slightly more cautious of the Cybertruck's exterior, we headed out of Yosemite to our final charging top-up before putting something quite controversial to the test. The Cyberbeast's range, for which a range extender 420 mile option is coming, although it does cost 16 grand and take up a lot of bed space. But we don't have that, so as it is, we have the regular range, which the website will tell you is 320 miles, but that's for separately sold all seasons. The from factory all-terrains can apparently only do 305. But even at 100%, ours was starting with 298.
Okay.
Really vibrates.
Yeah, everything vibrates.
It's like
in
someone
this.
closing a chapel door.
Okay, range test time.
Here we go, 100%.
We're at 100% battery, and we're just gonna see how far we get.
Yeah, we got
Basically.
a route plan, Sacramento, and then home to Fremont.
Off we go.
Off we go.
All right, we got a few minutes. Let's talk about the usability.
A few minutes.
By a few minutes, I mean probably 5 hours. There's a few strange things about this truck. Some of them I like, some of them I don't.
Yes.
You know, I'm talking livability, usability.
Right.
The front cuts digits off.
Yes.
All right, that's all we need to say about that. It isn't even actually that big.
We managed to get up to, I think, 4 carrots in one go.
Yeah.
Which is a whole hand.
Yeah, so
Or 3.
Yeah, definitely the hand of a child, but I think it would take off the fingers of a full-grown adult. So this is a Tesla, and my issues that I have with it are not necessarily exclusive to this truck.
Just Tesla stuff.
Just Tesla stuff.
Yeah, it's quite a Spartan interior. They've got an even bigger screen. This is the 18-inch screen, but it still means you're always looking to your right.
No matter what you do, you're always looking over here. I miss in the Model S and the Model X
Having
that you
the thing in
have
front of
an
you.
actual gauge cluster in front of
Yeah.
you. I feel like this should have had that.
They've improved the steering wheel by
Yeah.
finishing it,
Yep, by finished, just completed the
by
circle.
completing it.
Yeah,
And actually, there's something fun about it.
it's nice. I don't want it
There's
at all.
this weird caveman thing where I've learned to pivot something with a lever,
Yeah.
and I'm doing a minimum input and it's doing a lot, like having a tiny steering wheel move this giant thing,
Yeah, it's weirdly
it
satisfying.
appeals to something ancestral in me.
We've already mentioned that the visibility isn't great,
Yeah.
but at least I haven't got used to it. It's not ideal. It really is not ideal. It's compromised by its exterior visual design. The software, though, in this is amazing. It's as fast or faster than an iPad.
Yeah, no one touches this.
No one
The
can do
speed at which everything moves, it's just so easy.
It is really crazy, honestly, and it's pretty easy to figure out, given the amount of information that has to be in it. I actually don't mind it. Huge amount of space down here for stuff.
Tons.
That's kind of cool.
Seats are comfortable.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue with the seats at all.
We're about to do another 5 hours in them, so.
Yep.
But they're very comfortable. It's comfortable in the back. It's not, these aren't, it's a truck, but those aren't jump seats.
No.
I can fit with tons of legroom
Yep.
and reasonable amount of headroom. And Harrison, our sound engineer, who's 6'6", has plenty of legroom. And the seating is only an issue
Over bumps.
over bumps. And then he gets a minor concussion.
I don't think there's quite as much room back there as you get in like a crew cab F-150 or something like that, but it is still pretty spacious.
And the backseat passengers get to enjoy YouTube, Netflix, Twitch.
Yeah.
And so do we. And that was and that's not new to this car.
No.
Obviously even like other Teslas like the Model S have it, but
But it works really well.
it's just fun.
It's easy, it's bright, it's sharp, it's quick to respond, it does what you want. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this car. However, when it comes to the interior experience, you're spending $100,000 on this, and it squeaks and cracks and pops and moves and makes noises like my 1980s Volkswagen hatchback.
it's creaky.
It just doesn't, it's not acceptable.
No, it doesn't feel up to describe. But I think
No.
if it did, it would be $200,000.
Yeah, I guess that's always the excuse that
No,
Tesla feeds
you're
us.
right, you're right.
Is that well, of course we could have made it better, but then it would have cost more money. In my $100,000 super cool pickup truck thing, I want the interior to be. A Ram's made well.
Yeah, yeah. And then as you go further back,
Yeah.
obviously there is a bed.
It's quite big actually.
And we haven't done any towing stuff.
Nope.
Other channels have done amazing things with towing. Jerry Rig Everything took his Hummer EV, which is he did a 11,000 pound load,
Yeah.
and it showed that he did sub 100 miles.
Yeah.
That's a failure of the Cybertruck. It's a failure of all EVs. EVs cannot tow long distances.
Yeah.
And that's kind of annoying in that people look to Tesla to change the game,
And they didn't.
and they did not change the towing
no,
game.
they matched it.
Yeah.
They played the same game.
Yeah. At best, they matched EVs. At worst, they didn't take us forward.
Yeah.
But the tonneau cover is ridiculously strong.
And quite fun.
Yeah, it took Thomas for a little ride. And there's plenty of space in the bed.
So I mean, as I said, there's a lot of usability here, but it's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and I was hoping that there's a few things that were going to feel a little bit just tighter,
Well, it's taken these few days with it to really get to grips with it. I don't think we've ever had such a complex vehicle to sort of get our head around.
No.
And one of the last things to figure out is, does it do what it's promising in terms of range? Because there were lots of things that it will do that it didn't do, but this one is saying it does do. Does that make sense?
No, it didn't. But let's see what happens.
And so, as we descended out of Yosemite, we began consuming our recently acquired miles. And as a disclaimer, we weren't going to hypermile this. Our goal was to drive it as if we would any other car on a trip like this. Real world. We weren't going to be lunatics, we kept it in chill acceleration mode the whole time, but we weren't going to chase the drafts from an 18-wheeler, nor were we going to hide in the right lane 15 miles per hour under the speed limit.
At first, thanks to the downhills and the slower roads, our efficiency numbers were good. But as we got onto a rainy highway and as night fell, well, the rearview camera graduated from crap to pointless. But at highway speeds, our efficiency was quite a bit less impressive.
After several hours of tiring rainy highway, we stopped for a much-needed break and a driver switch, and James took us all the way to our final charging stop, which turns out was one full charging stop before our previously planned charging stop, and we still arrived there with 0%.
Okay. Final result, 287 miles.
We gave it a really good head start there.
We did. We came down about 4,000 feet of elevation from Yosemite, the meadows there, to here, which is close to sea level.
So yeah, not quite what is claimed,
No.
but we never really had range anxiety either.
No, because there's just so many freaking superchargers in California, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so that ends our time
Yes.
with the Cybertruck Cyber Beast. And
We've compiled a list.
we've made some notes.
Yeah.
We've had days to think about things.
Yeah.
And we've separated it into 3 sections. Things that are unacceptable, things that are meh, and things that are brilliant. On the unacceptable side,
It's covered in blades,
covered in blades,
knives,
it's got a killer front that eats
ridiculous.
children.
borderline dangerous. I
Yes.
don't care how much it costs, you have to round these edges out, okay?
The interior.
Needs to happen.
The interior's too cheap as well.
Yeah.
It's very much Tesla level, but it's just there's creaks and it feels cheap and it's, you know, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for that.
And the visibility,
It's horrendous.
god awful.
Yeah.
Between the A-pillar and the rear screen and the wiper being down, it didn't feel that safe for a
No.
lot of our drivers.
Also, I don't think the headlights on ours are pointed correctly because they're shining in everybody's eyes and not on the road in front. So in
Yeah.
the dark and the rain, scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
The Mez.
The Mez.
Towing range and capacity.
We didn't test that, but other people have, and it doesn't quite hit it. So that means as a pickup truck for work and utility, it fails just like most EV pickup trucks.
Yeah. The ride.
It's not good.
It's not a good ride.
No. It's
But-
fine in certain circumstances.
Bumpy and crashy.
Yeah.
Not just doesn't feel luxury. Although the Rivian R1T, also in this class, sort of, doesn't have a great ride either.
I think the Lightning is the best of the 3 of them, actually.
Yeah, but they all fight their weight. They
Yes.
all struggle. And the lack of steering wheel stalks and controls. Why not?
Yeah, just put them on there.
It doesn't make it less cool.
No.
For more controls. On the brilliant side.
Yes.
Go on, Thomas. You be positive, man.
Okay, positive man. Handling, excellent. Talked about this before. The steering ratio variable thing, drive-by-wire absolutely works fine. No issues with that whatsoever. Controls its mass perfectly. It does not feel as big as it is.
Right.
There. This next one is a bit of a big one. Basically, it's the fact that they had the balls to make this, period.
Yes.
This did not need to look like this, but they wanted it to look like this because it's fun and funky. And the engineering behind that to make it functional and look like this is mad. It is probably one of the most interesting pieces of automotive engineering in our lifetime.
It's car of the decade in terms of remembering.
Yeah,
And the attention it's got. I mean, there's nothing quite like it for look at me value. People have almost crashed trying to see us.
got
They've-
annoying actually at one point.
Yeah,
It was-
you can't park in a car park without everyone rushing to see you.
Yeah.
We even pretended that it wasn't our car sometimes. We'd walk up to people admiring it and just do that, and it would just blow their minds, and that just doesn't get old.
No, it doesn't get old.
And I don't know how much the novelty of the Cybertruck will last. It could be a year, it could be 5 years.
Yeah.
But for a long time, people are going to see this, and it's just going to blow them away. And not just because it has a 4-foot windscreen wiper. It's just, it's just unbelievable.
It is absolutely weird and wonderful in its own kind of stupid and excessively flawed way. But if that's what you're into, then
I think warts and all, unacceptables and mares,
yeah.
we've kind of really come to like it
Yeah.
and abuse it. Anytime you feel even slightly it's ridiculous. Yeah. I'm gonna go home and kick my Miata and forget that's not what you do.
Nothing about the Cybertruck is what you do. Its very existence defies convention. And that on its own wouldn't be enough because the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile defies convention. But the Cybertruck has actual substance. It's chock full of innovation and engineering. And above all else, it's just fun. Yes, it's very rough around the edges, literally, and no, it isn't ideal that buyers are closer to beta testers than actual end users. But if you choose not to view the Cybertruck as the future of utility, here to deliver the second coming of Elon Christ, and instead view it as a hilarious flex machine that can stop bullets and outpace a Lamborghini, then it starts to make a whole lot more sense. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cybertruck. Thanks for watching.